Hi, I'm Susan Stover, and I'm this week's studio visit artist for I Like Your Work. My studio is currently in this old factory building in Kingston, New York. It houses lots of artist studios and other small businesses and is located in the Hudson Valley. So this is my studio. It's about 700 square feet. And I've got a lot of work in here right now because I've got a show that's going up in a couple of weeks. Normally, it's not this clean, but it's a great space, good light, and I have got lots of room, tall ceilings. I really love working here. Give you the 360-degree view here. I'll give you a little tour of the studio. Back in this corner is sort of my office space. This work that's hanging here was about a couple of years ago. I was doing these large cardboard pieces. They're painted cardboard that are cut up and stitched together, kind of like a quilt. My background is in textiles, and so I employ a lot of textile type materials, alternative materials, and traditional techniques with a lot of work. This is all the newer work that's going to be in the show. Here are some of the wall sculptures. They're a little bit different than the earlier ones. And I kind of like making these. I think of them as sort of containers for individual experiences as I'm making them. They hold memory and, you know, just that sort of individual thinking. I don't really have a plan when I start them. They're more of a, I might have an idea that I want to start with a curve or whatever, but they sort of evolve as I make them, with one piece adding a next piece, that kind of thing. These wall pieces here are pretty large. This one I think is 60 by 72. And you can see how, you know, there's all these different threads that sew them together. And I'll show you my process a little bit here in a minute. When I started these pieces, this was actually the first one, after a series of drawings that I did. I'll show you those too. I was thinking a lot about just sort of the chaos that the world is in right now. How these structures that we've relied on, norms, things like that, are, you know, actually just really tied loosely together. And we can't depend on them like we may have thought we could have in the past. Things subject to change like politics and social and cultural norms just may not be there when we need them the most. This is the most recent one. It looks a lot like text, perhaps. Some more of the wall pieces. They're kind of fun to make because they can hang in any direction. They don't have a, you know, an up or a down, so you can kind of play with them. They're really lightweight, so doesn't take much to hang them. You can see a lot of them are, well, all of them actually, are painted on the back with different colors so that they glow against the wall. I think of them as kind of a combination of painting, textiles, and sculpture. Not really owing to one discipline or another. So this is a series of drawings that I did that actually preceded the wall pieces, the structures that I just showed you. They kind of got the ball rolling as to what kind of structures I might want to put together. These are a little different. They're kind of individual, more animated. I'd like to go back and maybe work with this idea a little bit more. But I like to work in a couple different mediums. One can always inform the other. Kind of rounds out the similar ideas in different ways, I guess. I haven't shown these anywhere yet. I think I'd like to. I sort of envision them in a grid, all on one wall. So here's part of my process. I've already painted and cut the wood into strips, and now I'm laying out the strips in the piece. So I'm marking each piece where I'm going to cut it and where I'm going to drill the holes for the stitching. I use a scroll saw to cut. I don't have the sound on because it's pretty loud. But it gives a nice, really nice, even cut that I don't need to sand usually. After I cut them, then I drill where I've marked. I use a little Dremel to do that. And the other thing I have in my left hand there is a vacuum because the sawdust, it gets pretty messy. So I just hold the vacuum right there. And then after they're all drilled, I stitch them together. I use a heavy waxed linen thread, so it's really sturdy and it doesn't stretch. So really that's it. Thanks for coming to visit my studio, and thank you to I Like Your Work.